because on both of those cases, I wasn't even served. On each one of them, it said the case every summons came back unserved.
So you had a judicial case and not an administrative case?
I thought it was. I'm not sure. I don't even know how if it was. I don't know if it was administrative or I think it was administrative, and it was just done in a judicial building or whatever. Just had a judge sign it or whatever.
Rubber stamp. Well, then in every no matter what it is, always understand the facts of the case and find out what your issue is, the legal issue. Find out what the rule or statute is that governs that issue. Apply the rule or the statute to that issue, and then conclude why you're entitled to relief. And that's something that you have to let your hands go to get there. If you may have already have waived something, well, then you may want to look and see if there's some sort of an issue that may go to the fundamental fundamental rules doctrine. If it's a fundamental error that would require reversal. It just whatever it is, what do you say, David? You have to. The process is the process, and you can't be lazy in the process. Mike was a professional athlete, so he understands the process is the process, and no matter who you are, what you want, you're going to have to put in the work to get through the process, and you're going to have to do enough repetition that it becomes a little bit easier for you. But unlike a professional athlete who has years and years of training, we don't have a lot of training in this particular area, and you're only going to have a short amount of time in order to effect your case or what have you, or your opportunity in the courtroom. So you have to take full advantage of it. Otherwise, David, we can talk about it if you're there later on. 2 years, that's a little odd. I'd love to see that freaking order. Because you may not, because most of the time you typically only have 30 days to even file a notice of appeal. And then the court's going to require that the appellate court's going to say, hey, we need your initial brief within this time. So I'm interested to see kind of what happened. And maybe you might have overlooked something, and you may have to just come back and address it that way. And again, I always recommend people get an attorney.
Oh yeah. I'll email everything. I'll email it over to you. You know what I'm saying? You can just take a peek at it, and you can read it yourself and tell me what you think.
I'm just extremely confused as to how an order would say you can't come back for 2 years. It's just weird. And again, raising timely objections, having the objections having meritorious objections. These things all are a part of the process, and this is where we have to work harder. So that being said, I filed my motion in opposition to Dr. Shim's attorneys filed. This guy actually filed his response to plea. He filed a motion to dismiss. He didn't state it with anything specifically, but his entire argument would have went contrary to what he argued 3 years ago. And I'm thinking, this motherfucker forget I'm the one that was in the courtroom with him. Some of the weirdest shit with some of these attorneys out here. But I'm still fighting that, still waiting for the 11th Circuit to give me a ruling. I'll be up there. And a couple other cases. I had to get ready to file this case against the Department of Revenue, just in general. So, David, we got anything coming up that I need to tell them about before I get out of here?
No, this next barbershop talk. The other thing I was going to ask, I know the gentleman you say you've been working with from like 2014, 16, and whatnot.
Colin?
Huh?
Colin?
Yeah, I think you mentioned something about doing a profile for you or something about
he did. He did do one on me. Yeah.
I don't know if that might be beneficial to some other people or whatnot. I don't know what it's also called. Just for people to get a better idea of themselves.
His number's in the chat room, but if anybody needs it, I can send it to you. He did it for me years and years ago.
Okay.
And it was Leon, wasn't it? Leon that says we all know our weaknesses. We all know where we're deficient, whether we want to admit it or not. Mike, I think, might have said something to the same degree. You have to work in that area.
I mean, is that like something spiritual or something?
Whatever you want to call it. Maybe, whether it's spiritual or Mike, what do you call it? Spiritual, Mike? What do you call it? Is it an acknowledgement of the truth of things? Like guys who aren't like I was not really, I wasn't fast. I was pretty quick. So I knew I had all my routes had to look the same. I had to work on being able to maneuver, how to get off of jams, how to move. You have to be honest. But go ahead, Mike. What would you call it?
Yeah.
Too, but yeah.
I mean, I think it's just, I mean, you can look at it on a spiritual level, but it's just trying to be consistent in everything you do, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? So if it's this, if it's something else, if it's something at work, no matter what it is, just like I said weeks ago, you find it, you simplify, you verify. You know what I'm saying? Like simplify whatever it is, the task at hand. You know what you need to do, and you kind of get it done, and just be consistent in that. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
For sure, bro. I'm definitely gonna hit you up.
No doubt.
So
No, and Colin can help you with that. He definitely did it for me. Because I'm always angry. Behind, it's there.
I could have done that profile for you.
See, he's gonna bring it out. But because I understand how to calibrate, I won't even respond. I won't even call you Hot Wheels.
How many times have you not responded? Can you count that?
No, I'm counting back from 10 right now. I don't. Yeah. So hey, listen, I'll see you all next week. We probably want to grab a couple of Saturday classes, I think is what Daily is probably going to move us toward doing. I don't know where everybody else is. I know where everybody else is individually, but maybe, come together and try to catch people up on where they are with their cases. But find it, simplify, and then verify it. But you have to be honest with what it is that you want out of it. And you cannot go in there, you cannot walk into a courtroom and not expect there to be a battle. It just doesn't happen, especially when you're self-represented. Especially when you're self-represented. So, hey, listen, it's always imparting. Sometimes it's not about right or wrong. More importantly, it's about clarity. You never reach resolution if you're not willing to engage in honest dialogue. Hey, even if that dialogue is with yourself, take time to hug the person you love the person you hug. Hit me up if you want me to get you in contact with Colin. I'm Greg Doss. I'm the infamous DJ Squid. I'm saying peace. I'm saying chicken grease. I'm out.